So today it was announced in the morning press conference with Claudia Sheinbaum that there's going to be pharmacies, nationalized pharmacies that are going to set up right next to the nationalized banks at all the branches. So it was glazed over as one of the questions at the end of the press conference, but here's the background on why that's so fucking monumentally important and what it kind of goes into the details of it, right? When AMLO's administration came in, the previous president, he said to all the banks, he's like, hey, we're doing all these social programs. We're going to be, doubling pensions. We're going to be making sure that everybody has resources. We're giving scholarships to kids. We're giving them money directly to their families or to them, depending on what age they are. And as the banks, we need you guys to open up branches in all the smallest towns. We're estimating you guys need like 200 banks. The point is, all the privatized banks, because there is no national bank in Mexico, all the private banks said, fuck that, we're not doing that. We don't want to service the poor, and we don't want to put in all this money into infrastructure to set up bank branches in towns that are like all over the places. They're like, fuck that, we're not going to do it. They're the right wing. They're just like, no, we're not doing that shit. So he's like, all right, cool. He opened up he said, we're building them then. We're doing our own bank. We're doing a national bank. We're building it, and we're setting it out everywhere else. And immediately over the course of the next year or two, it just became the biggest bank. They're still opening branches right now, but it became the biggest bank in all of Mexico. And everybody floods there because everybody's cashing in their pensions. Everybody's getting that's where it gets deposited into those banks. So that's where they go to get their withdrawals, their banking. We could do a whole other video on the housing, which is a whole other fucking dope part, but it also is integrated to this bank. So that's why they were important. And the announcement of the pharmacies being opened up next to the bank are wildly important because that is kind of an anchor to a previous program that she just announced. I think it was like a month or two ago that she said, we're hiring X amount of thousands of doctors that we need from all the universities in local cities and states. And what we want is we want medical students that become doctors, or the doctors that we hire in those towns, to be able to go. They already did the census. They already did the door-to-door. They already figured out how many old folks are. They already figured out like who's disabilities. But they're sending out doctors. So you get monthly, bi-monthly, or every 2 weeks visit, depending on the doctor. You're going to have a doctor that comes to see you. It's going to be your primary care physicians coming up to your house, right? So once that program got announced, that makes the news of this pharmacy really fucking cool, because now you're going to have a nationalized pharmacy system that's going to be right next to every nationalized bank, where you're going to have, if I remember correctly, it might be free medication. All the basic medication is going to be free. And not only that, there's going to be a doctor on site at all times. And if they feel that you need to be transported to a fucking hospital, they'll transport you to a hospital as well. So it really ends up being an anchor that they just said it in a snippet, in a question that somebody asked her. She's like, that's going to start in the middle of next year. So the whole infrastructure that's being set up is fucking impressive, and we'll see where it goes from there.